Together at various venues across the country ahead of the planned shutdown. The hashtag Total Shutdown movement will embark on marches in 8 of the 9 provinces as well as in Lesotho and Namibia. SABC reporter Patricia Visagie is at the march in Pretoria and brings us the latest. Patricia, what's on the ground as we speak? What's happening?
Well, good morning. Of course, here on the ground you can see women in their black, white and red gearing up here at the old Potco depot, as of course they're coming in their numbers to of course gather for this big march that is going to take place from this starting point. They'll be heading to the union buildings. Now, of course, as we know, as a country, we're also officially marking, as from today, the 1st of August, we are marking the 62nd anniversary and commemoration of the historic 1956 Women's March to the Union Building. So today, these women that are gathered here are walking in the footsteps of giants. They're emulating the actions of the women of 1956 who actually stood up as a united force and went to the Union Buildings to echo their frustrations and really just ask the government to respect women and also to put better measures in place to make sure that women in the country are respected. So top of the agenda for these women that are gathered here is of course the high rate of femicide in the country. So often haven't we disturbingly read in newspapers, saw on television of women that have been brutally, of course, either assaulted or murdered by their intimate partners. And as we know, that statistics also show that about 50% of South African women are killed by their intimate partners annually. So it's really a very alarming statistics, and it is on the banner of that shocking reality and disturbing reality that these women have gathered here, and they go into the union buildings, to the heart of the citadel, to ask government to come up with stronger measures and also to ask men to find it in their heads and hearts to of course respect women and see women as their equal beings, and that way of course hoping that maybe we can change the narrative around gender-based violence in the country. Now, you know that this is a national march. All provinces are participating in this particular total shutdown women's march. It is only the Northern Cape that is not participating, as of course the organizers could not obtain a permit in that particular province. So all the other provinces will be observing this particular action that we are seeing here, and of course we think that the biggest action will be here in the capital city, of course the administrative hub of government. So the march will start at around 11 o'clock. For now, it is just women coming in. It is women from all walks of life and all corners of society, regardless of which political party you are affiliated to, whether you're a journalist, whether you're a doctor, whether you're unemployed. They have brought women here to come and cry together, to come and echo their frustrations together as one united force. So we will be bringing you the actions here on the ground live. We'll also be bringing you the voices of the women here and some of the interesting stories and perhaps even painful stories that they will be sharing you, the stories that have motivated them and convinced them to convene here today and march to the union buildings. As you can see, energy is building up on the ground, and they're getting ready to put foot to ground and march to the union buildings. We'll come back to you a little bit later in the program and bring you more of the build up here on the ground, and of course, as I said, speak to the women and find their stories. For now, let's toss it back to the studio.
We'll keep going back to Patricia Visagie as developments unfold. Their total shutdown, hashtag total shutdown, is what's happening today. As she said, today we're commemorating 63 years of that famous Women's March to the Union Buildings.
Some of the issues that are emanating from this march is the lack of reporting, I guess, of domestic abuse and sexual assault. I was reading a stat yesterday, interestingly enough. You know this campaign in America called the Me Too campaign, and I was shocked to realize that it was actually started in 2006 And we're only hearing about it now because
it only gained traction
because
later.
of the Harvey Weinstein issue and stuff like that. And on that website yesterday when I was reading, it says 17.7 million people, women, have reported sexual assaults since 1998. So that's shocking, isn't it?
You know, we talk about the lack of reportage, and I think the issue here is that it's not stopping either. And that's what the point that the total shutdown march is seeking to make, that it really needs to come to a stop.
Exactly. And that stat says that you are not alone, I guess, you know, in terms of that. Let's crisscross the country now and head off to the Eastern Cape, where our reporter Busisiwe Jemsana Mantashe is in East London. A very good morning to you, Busisiwe. How have the women in East London responded to the march?
A very good morning. These women are tired of being raped. They are tired of being killed. They are tired of their bodies being punch bags of men. These are not my words, but words of these women who are marching the streets of East London. Women from across the Buffalo City municipality who are marching to the City Hall, making an awareness that women are tired. As we start the Women's Month, they are saying that they are tired of suffering from gender violence crimes, and therefore they wanted to stop. They want law enforcement agencies to actually make sure that they are protected, and they want to bring an awareness to men out there that they should be the people that protect them. They should play a key role in actually protecting their mothers, their daughters, and their sisters. These marches are planned across the province. In King Williamstown, there's another march taking place. In Bisho, there's another march taking place. Women across the country, young women, and in fact the Women's League is also planning a march that will also be going to the City Hall from the stadium here in East London. So these are the women. They continue to walk down the streets of East London, encouraging other women to also join them and be part of the march that says no to violence.
Of the situation in the Eastern Cape. I know you said women are tired of being raped, and you've been emphasizing that point, but just give us a sense of the situation in the Eastern Cape with regard to domestic violence, with regard to sexual assault of women.
I could vaguely hear you there, but from what I gather, you're asking the situation in the Eastern Cape. Well, the province is one of the provinces with high violence rate, especially serious crimes such as rape and murder. It is battling with that. When we speak to gender violence groups, the Masimanya Women's Support Center, they're saying that the problem is that the police and the justice system, there seems to be a breakdown in link there, because they would report these crimes and people do not, and police would actually arrest the people, but they don't get prosecuted. There's not enough evidence, and in fact they're saying that because of that, many women are afraid now to report. They're afraid that they will not they will be judged, they will not be believed, and that even if they continue with those, the perpetrators walk around the streets, they get out of jail free, and now there's a stigma, and especially those who are raped by their relatives, their fathers, their uncles, are scared to speak out because they feel that the justice system is failing them. So indeed it is a problem in the Eastern Cape, where many women, especially elderly women, because the Eastern Cape is a rural province, so many elderly women stay alone in their homes with no men to protect them, with no families, as their family members are out in the big cities trying to find jobs. So we hear a lot of reports about women who get raped on a daily basis, who stay alone, and even young women who get raped by their family members, young women who get raped in institutions of higher learning. You remember the Roads Must Fall protest, and also in Fort Hare, where many young women who are students at these institutions spoke out to say that they were raped on campus. They do not feel that they are protected. So across all communities, it is a problem where women women do not feel protected, do not feel safe. You'd remember we did a story some time ago of a woman who was raped inside a jail cell, who was allegedly raped inside a jail cell by a policeman. So that goes to show just the amount of protection that they're saying they're not getting. They're not getting from their homes, they're not getting from the schools, they're certainly not getting it from the police cells that they are jailed in. Though it is difficult to actually tell you about the exact numbers, the statistics of how many are actually apprehended, how many are arrested, but it is a concern for women's support centers across the province.
Great insight, great reporting there. Busisiwe Jemsana Mantashe live us is in East London. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, in Cape Town,